in today's video, I'm basically going to be running you guys through the full day of eating that I ate on the most amount of days during my bulk that I think was the most effective way that helped me get the calories down me. So this full day of eating basically helped me gain 9 kilos in 180 days. So I thought I'd just drop the sauce for you guys. And this full day of eating adds up to 3,461 calories, over 230 grams of protein, and it's in 4 meals, right? And so I'm basically going to be going over this full day of eating with you guys and then going through 3 things that were really important to, first of all, sustaining this full day of eating, actually why this full day of eating worked for me, and how to make your full day of eating work for you as well. But before we get into this video, I just want to very quickly introduce myself to you guys if you're new around here. So my name is Ryan. I'm 20 years old. I actually just turned 20 a couple of days ago as I'm filming this video. I've over the past 4 years, I've completely transformed myself through the gym. This was me in 2021, and now this is me in 2025 in turn, gaining 27 kilos plus lean mass. And now I'm on a mission to help as many men as possible with their weight and muscle gain struggles, and basically just help them make the same transformation I have over the long term. So that's enough for me, and I know you guys are eager to find out what I was eating throughout the day. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So as I said, 4 meals to eat 3,461 calories. That's it. And just before we get into this video, I wouldn't necessarily suggest going below 4 meals a day, because you do want to spread out your calories, because you do need to keep replenishing your body throughout the day, and you need to keep replenishing your muscles throughout the day with the protein, with the carbohydrates, with the healthy fats, as that is really important for muscle growth. So I wouldn't suggest going anywhere below 4 meals a day. However, I'm going to explain more on that later, so let's get into the full day of eating. So meal 1, right? Meal 1 I had, I would say, a couple of hours before I worked out. So I woke up at around 7:30 at this time, and I was going to the gym around 12:30. So I had my first meal, meal 1, at around 10:30. And this meal had 1,250 calories in it. I'm not too sure on the protein and the macro specifics on this meal. However, I'll pop a screenshot up on the screen so you can sort of see. So in this meal, I had 6 eggs, around 20-ish, 15-20 grams of cheese, a quarter of a pack of smoked salmon mixed in with the eggs. You can have any sort of meat if you want to have a bit of chorizo. You can have some pancetta. It's just a meat. It makes the eggs taste nice, and it's obviously more calorie dense as well. And then I had 2 bagels, half an avocado, and half a pint of orange juice, right? And this obviously added up to 1,250 calories. And the thing is, it's very nutrient dense. You've got your protein in the eggs, you've got your healthy fats in the eggs and the avocado, and those carbohydrates are important as well, because at 10:30 at that time I was going to the gym in the next 2 hours, so I needed those carbohydrates before. This was basically the pre-workout meal, right? So yeah, 6 eggs, cheese, salmon, avocado, 2 bagels, and an orange juice, and that added up to 1,250 calories. And just like that, that is a third of my daily intake right there, right? So it's a lot easier from now on. It was, before then, it was more of an uphill race, but now I'm slowly going downhill now. So then I worked out at 12:30, probably until 1:30ish, and then around quarter to 2, or whenever I got home, I had my staple lunch was 2 chicken breasts, or 2 chicken breasts, or 2 tins of tuna, or even 2 salmon fillets. Actually, I sort of rotated the 3, and 80 grams of rice. And the average sort of, I measured the chicken breasts for this one for the example of this video, but this meal added up to around 600 calories. So I had 80 grams of rice, around, again, 15 to 20 grams of cheese, 2 tins of tuna, or 2 chicken breasts, or 2 salmon fillets, and I had a little bit of soy sauce with the rice to make the rice sound taste nice. And trust me, tuna and soy sauce may sound a little bit but it is beautiful, right? And I also had some onions in there, so that adds up to around 600 calories. I'll put it up on the screen there as well. So that was meal 2. That was lunch around 2 p.m., right? And then around 6:30 p.m., so I gave it around 4 hours to digest. I had my dinner, and I had a lot of variety for dinner. I'm not saying that you have to eat one meal all the time. As I said, this was like the most common full day of eating for me. But dinner was the meal that changed the most for me. The most common meal I had was minced beef and pasta, which added up to around 765 calories. I had obviously cheese in there and all of that good stuff. That added up to around 760. I would say between 760 to 800 calories, if you're not counting like the sauces or anything else like peas I might have added, which I had quite a bit to be fair, and butter to cook in, stuff like that. So that was probably around 760 to 800 calories. And then at 8 p.m, the final meal of the day was a big old protein shake. And the reason why this was so efficient was because after meal 3, it was only an hour and a half, but because it was a drink, it was so much easier to consume than if I had to consume another meal. So I sort of think of it like you sort of want to start big and then slowly make it easier for you as you go. Even though this is pretty calorific, like my shake was 856 calories, so much easier to consume. So I had around 250 milliliters of semi-skim milk. I had 2 scoops of a mass gainer protein powder, mass gainer, which is absolutely key there. And then I had 1 banana, and that was it, to be fair. And I obviously put my creatine in there, but you don't really count creatine as calories, do you? And that added up to around 856 calories. Now, I'm going to put the total macronutrients up on the screen right now. And that was, so I was around 230, 240 grams of protein, more or less, depending on the day or whether I added stuff to these meals. And then the carbohydrates was quite high as well. And obviously you got your healthy fats in there as well. And that is basically the average or the most common full day of eating, I should say. That helped me gain 9 kilos in 180 days, and obviously helped me get to where I am now. I mean, you can't really see my physique now, but you saw the, you know, I'm blabbering on. Right, so that is my full day of eating. Now I want to get into a few things that, as I said, some important reasons as to why this full day of eating worked really well and how you can do it as well. So the first thing that I want to go over is how I basically got myself into giving myself the ability to sustain this sheer amount of calories for a prolonged period of time and staying consistent with it, because obviously staying consistent is the most important thing. So I like to call it the training phase, right? So I didn't go straight into eating 3,461 calories and 233 grams of protein or whatever it was straight away, because if I did that, my body would have been so sensitive to it as I hadn't done it in a while. So my body would have reacted just as sensitively. So if I went like this, I would have been rebounded and slingshotted straight back like this, if not 2 steps back further, right? And I would have just inevitably burnt myself out. So my number one advice to you, if you're about to start a bulk or if you're not sure on how to bulk and stuff, don't eat in a calorie surplus straight away. Train yourself up. This is what I like to call the training phase, right? So I didn't eat this much straight away. I slowly increased the amount of portions I had. You know that big meal that I talked about for meal 1 that was 1,250 calories with 6 eggs, 2 bagels, etc., etc.? I started off with 4 eggs and 1 bit of toast, right? And then I slowly built it up, and then as that started to get easy, I upped it to 5 eggs and 2 bits of toast, and then I got to the point where I was eating 6 eggs, 2 bagels, cheese, salmon, avocado, and an orange juice. You just got to slowly build it up, and because you need to train your body, right? It's like taking a big exam for school straight away without doing any study or revision. You're inevitably going to fail because you haven't practiced and you haven't got the knowledge to obviously answer the questions, right? And it's just like the gym. If you don't practice and train your body to actually have the ability to sustain these calories consistently, then you're just going to get slingshotted back, as I said earlier, and you're going to be in square one again in 2 weeks. So this training phase is super, super important. So just focus on eating consistently at maintenance calories, or even in a slight deficit if you're really bad at eating and you don't have a big appetite for food, and then just slowly increase the portion sizes as you go. And again with the rice, right, I didn't start off by eating 80 grams. I started off by eating 50 and then 65, and then I eventually got to 80, right? And it's the exact same with the meat as well. I didn't start off with like 2 tins of tuna or 2 chicken breasts. I started off with 1 chicken breast, right? You just slowly build it up over time. And I think that is the key to consistency, not rushing into it straight away and just slowly training yourself up. So that's the first thing. You want to train yourself up. Don't eat in a surplus straight away and slowly warm your body into it, right? Number two, the reason why this works so well is because I ate these meals at the exact same times every single day without question, right? You may be saying to me, my schedule can't necessarily allow me to do that. That's fine. Then what you've got to do is plan in advance when you're going to be eating these meals, right? The most important thing, in my opinion, to actually having a successful bulk and eating in a surplus consistently is keeping your meal times as similar or at the same time as much as you possibly can. And the reason why this is because it allows you to work with your body, because your body's going to start to pick up these patterns of, I'm eating meals at the same time, so I'm going to start to tell, the conscious self when to be hungry. And that's obviously going to be at the right times because you've basically told your body when, right? So you're essentially working with your biomechanics and with your body. So the more you start to eat dinner at 5 p.m. or when I started to eat dinner at 6:30 p.m., my body started to make me feel hungry around that time. Or when I started to eat breakfast at 10:30, my body started to pick up on this and it thought, I may as well just start to feel hungry around then because that's when I'm eating food. You don't want to make your body do guesswork. You want to make your body know exactly when you're eating so it can make you feel hungry at the right times. So it's a lot easier to eat, the amount of calories you need to. And in my case, 3,461 calories. That's the second thing that I wanted to go over with you guys. Now, the final thing, right? So obviously we talked about training your body up, not rushing it, slowly warming your body into it, eating at consistent times throughout the day. Now spreading out the meal times, right? So many people make the mistake of cramming their calories in late at night. Not only does this mess up your sleep, but it makes things so much harder for you, right? Imagine I only consumed the first 2 meals of my day by 8 p.m. and I had to consume the other ones very, very late, right? It will be so much harder because only by then I would have eaten 1,850 calories if you combine a meal 1 and meal 2, and then meal 3 and meal 4 I've got to still consume 1,600 calories, right, in probably 2 hours because I would have gone to bed at 10 p.m. let's say. And if I was to consume these 2 meals in the last 2 hours of the day, that's 1,500 calories in 2 hours. It's just not sustainable for the long term, right? So you want to create a meal routine. So you want to eat your meals at the same times and also keep them spread out, right? So as I said, I had my first meal at 10:30, and then my next one when I got back from the gym around 1:30, quarter to 2, 2 o'clock, right? That's 4 hours rest, right? And then from 2 o'clock to 6:30, that was around 4.5 hours. And then from 6:30 to 8, I know it's only an hour and a half, but because I kept eating at the same times every day, my body acclimatized to it and it was a lot easier for me, right? So making sure you train yourself up, eat at consistent times throughout the day, and spreading out your meal times is super, super important for a successful bulk. And that is why these meal times work so, so well for me. So what I would recommend for you guys is to eat anywhere from 4 to 5 meals throughout the day. Make sure you have 2 meals around your workout. So make sure you have a pre-workout meal and a post-workout meal, just like I did. And spread out your meal times. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. I haven't got much more to say. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time. If you are still here and you want more help beyond these YouTube videos, I actually have a free community, which is going to be the top link in the description down below just there, where I'm helping 220 plus men just like you with their weight gain and muscle gain struggles, and basically just helping them start in the right way and basically just teaching them what they need to hear without all the bullshit along the way, which I had to go through. But I've dissected it down, right? So if you want my help beyond these YouTube videos, then that's going to be there, and I'd absolutely love to have you in there. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like, drop a comment down below as well. And if you want to stay around on the YouTube channel for future videos, I do upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and I'm going to start posting like actual videos of me training on this channel, which is really important. So if you want to stay around, then make sure you drop a little subscription down there. That would genuinely mean a lot to me, and it would really go a long way. But I don't want to bore you now because I've said everything I need to say. Have a good day. Have a good training session if you're training today. And without further ado, I will see you in the next video.